Hey guys. Looks like we got 4 people on right now. I know that being end of the year, or end of the month and holiday and all that, and it being a Saturday, could be hit or miss tonight. Hopefully we'll get a decent little turnout. Hopefully you guys had a good Thanksgiving. We're doing all right. She's just looking forward to the next week being over, because after this week she switches over to her new schedule. So instead of working from, right now it's 4 a.m. to 1 p.m., she's going to be working from 1 p.m. or 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. So that aligns her schedule with mine more, so we'll actually have more time together. It'll be easier for planning, like, meals and going out and all that kind of thing. So that'll be nice. We're both looking forward to that. One more week. Yeah, definitely. Right now, a lot of the times our schedules are reversed, so we're sleeping on opposite schedules and barely seeing each other. Switching back to nights. Nights are better, in my opinion. But I'm also a night person. Like, I'm awake a lot because my insomnia, but I definitely prefer night times. And a lot of times, regardless how long I've been awake, as soon as the sun goes down, I get like a surge of energy. Sometimes it lasts the whole night, sometimes it lasts for a couple hours. I actually learned somewhat recently that apparently, if you're a night person, a graveyard person, or a morning person, is genetic. Because it goes back to, when we were old, in the old clan days, and you had to have, people up around the clock to, guard against wild animals and whatever else. And folks like me that prefer the overnights, that means that my ancient caveman ancestors were probably the ones that guarded the clan overnight. So I thought that was pretty cool that was discovered. In bed by 9, asleep by 9:03. That must be nice. Yeah, Walter, I have really bad insomnia. Like, anybody who's been around long enough knows how bad my insomnia can get. So, anytime when I do finally get sleep, when I wake up, I might be awake for 2 hours or I might be awake for days. Up at 4 every day. Cool. Yeah, my record for being awake is 17 days. My record for being asleep, as you can imagine, was right after that 17 days. I slept for 3 days. And I had my best friend at the time came by a couple times a day just to get me up long enough to drink some water and go to the bathroom. Spouse talked about switching back to nights. Talked a lot about it. Your phone heard me and you received notifications about night Swift orders live 15 years less. Or night shift workers. That depends on the person. Again, it's now they know that if you're a night person, it's genetic. So actually, it could be the opposite for you. If you are naturally a night person, then being on the shift that your body is naturally telling you to be on is the healthier way to go. And they're actually working on trying to get companies to work with people more on, you know, if they're a night person, letting them be a night worker. Because that's when they're going to be the most productive. So the bullseye in the background is for one of our bows. We have 2 compound bows and a recurve. Still sitting at 4 people. Hopefully we'll get a couple more soon. You're cranky when you work nights. Just like, man, that means you're just naturally a day person. You're a morning person. Nothing wrong with that. You're heading out next week? Okay. You almost forgot about tonight? Yeah. We're on a weird night. And with it being only your second time, you're not used to the schedule yet. But after a while, you get used to being on the normal days. And the days do tend to switch every now and again, so... Right now we're on Fridays because as soon as the NFL season started, I didn't want to be trying to compete with football. And we'd had a couple of weeks that the sale got postponed to Fridays and we had a better turnout anyway, so we were like, yeah, let's do Fridays for a while. Go with the night we're getting the better turnout. I will always hope there will come a day that we'll end up with a regular viewership of 30 people or more. That'd be nice. But, if you know how social media works, I've had people that have come in and because I'm still not at 1,000 subs, that's how they judge the whole thing. And they're like, well, if you don't have that many subs yet, then your channel's not for me. And I'm like, whatever, dude. I'm not here for popularity. I'm here to give you guys good deals. I might have been doing this channel for 7 years and I'm still not at 1,000 subs, but I also know that none of my subs are bots. So all of my subs are natural, real people. Now, if we could just get the viewership up, that'd be fantastic. And with it being on an off night, typically, Walter, what we do is just, if we're on for 30, 45 minutes and it's still 2 or 3 people on, then I'll just postpone the sale until next Friday. And I'll just make the rest of the list be the sale for next Friday. Yeah, for 3 years, I was doing a photography job. So I had a lot more time on like UPick and Instagram and stuff like that. And since we decided to end that, I've been a lot happier not having to be on any of those. Like 90% of the reason I even have Facebook is just for this, mainly to advertise for this. And then I also keep in touch with a couple of friends and family. That's about it. There are a lot of times, even like if I leave the apartment, there's times I won't even take my phone with because I don't want people to be able to call me. I just want to go out and have my own quiet time. Not that anybody ever calls me anyway. If my phone ever rings, I know it's one of like 3 people. All right, I'm showing 3 on right now. Why was that and you're on the big screen? Hopefully. Hopefully we'll get some more. Hopefully more people will remember, oh, he's on tonight. I was actually surprised that the pre-sales didn't do more. Considering how many coins there are from like the 1800s, I figured a lot more stuff would have gone in pre-sale. But pre-sales are actually pretty light this week. When you post things to your wall, it's with a post-it note. There you go. Did I see the new coin designs for 2027? I did not. It's not even 2026 yet. No, I haven't seen any of the new designs. I know there are some coming. I haven't seen them yet, though. So yeah, we only had 9 items that went on pre-sale. Which was surprising. Five new quarter designs. I don't doubt it. I kind of figured as soon as the women's quarter series was done that they were going to start something new. And then I think I heard something about like the $50 getting a change or something like that. And then, of course, after this year, pennies are going to be NIFC. Because they're no longer doing circulating pennies. Minimum bid for one of the 232 sets of the last pennies is 9,500. Dang. That's a lot. I still haven't even found a 2025 penny. I do not have one. Granted, I don't use cash a lot, so I don't get a whole lot of change. But, like, you know, Angela gets a lot of stuff, like a lot of coins at work, and we haven't gotten one. Yeah, I heard they're going to do some kind of a series for the $50 like they did with the quarters. Last set with the cancel dies is 170,000. Is that how many they minted, or how much money is being bid on it? Because that's insane if somebody's paying that much just for that. Dang, that is crazy. Crazy, crazy. Did you guys see the thing about the fifth 1913 vehicle? Because there was only 5 of those that were ever made for 1913. And they had that one that was sitting in a closet for like 40 years. Because originally when they looked at it, they said it was fake. But then recently, apparently, they took it out and had a new look at it. And actually realized that it was the actual real one. It was the 5th one that was made. And it went for auction for like $5.2 million. Yeah, they confirmed it was the missing 5th one. So all 5 of them are now accounted for. Must be nice to have $5.2 million to spend on a coin, you know? Hey, we're up to 6. We'll give it a few more moments, and then we will get this thing going. Oop, we're down to 4 again. So I'll give it like 5 more minutes, and then as long as we're still around like 5, 6 people, then we'll kick this thing off and hopefully get a few more people in. I still think they should do runs of the old designs. I think that'd be cool. Just go back to the beginning and do 1 year or like a few years or something of each design that was out. I just think it'd be a cool thing to do. And they did it with the Morgans and the Peace Dollars, and people have been loving it. So I can't see it. You know, people can suddenly get a new cat bus dime or, you know, something. I can't imagine people not liking that. So I know West Side is on, and I know Walter's on. Who else is on? Make yourself known. Well, I drink some Mountain Dew. They are lurkers. I'm sure Dandy Dave wasn't around last week. Haven't seen him in a couple of weeks. Hopefully he's doing all right. Oh, Zeke's here. Hey, Zeke. Zeke was one of our lurkers. I'm actually especially surprised that Aaron didn't jump in on that 2 real. Normally anything that's like that from the 1700s, he's the one that jumps on it. Or CM Silver, but I haven't heard from him in, man, it's been a while. That's another one. Hopefully he's doing all right. Where was that one? Where'd it go? Oh, no, it wasn't. It was... did I have that dated wrong? I could have swore I remember that coin being a 1700s. Yeah, that's dated wrong. The... oh, wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong one. That's the Guatemala. This is the Peru. Yeah, so we actually have two real coins. The 1898 Guatemala. And the one I was talking about was the 1789 from Peru. I'm surprised one of them didn't jump on. Oh, hey, if you see him, tell him I said hello. Inflammation of the knee. Sounds annoying. When my wife was younger, she used to have to get her knee drained a couple of times a year, but then it eventually stopped, so that's good. Alright, I'm going to grab a fresh drink real quick, and then we will get this thing going. So give me 1 second. Alrighty. We were at 7 for a second. I guess they changed their mind. I would never desecrate Mountain Dew that way. Leave it alone. I don't even like the flavored Mountain Dews. It's like, no, just give me regular Mountain Dew. Except the Purple Thunder one's not bad, but the others, no. All right, for anybody new, payments made via PayPal. Use cheapskatecoins@gmail.com and use goods and services only, please. We also have Cash App, and we now have Venmo. If you use Cash App or Venmo, it will say Louis Cachera. That's me. You are in the right place. And those are both also using the email cheapskatecoins@gmail.com. Shipping is $6 to $23. $6 being a little purple bubble mailer, $23 being a large flat rate box. If you want your package sent registered, there's an additional $45 on top of that. Is the only way you can insure coins all the way through the mail. And remember, if you have it sent registered, you will have to sign for it when it arrives. So keep that in mind. I am going to do the same thing I do every year. I am going to recommend, if you guys have packages here, I am going to recommend leave them here until after Christmas, because porch pirates are going to be out in force. So just a suggestion. You don't have to take it. I'm just trying to help you guys because at least you know if it's sitting here, it's all safe. All right, if you're new, you can't get stuff tonight. You just have to email me by the end of the night. Email has to have your personal info, shipping info, your channel name, which payment method you're going to use, and what email you use for that payment method for invoicing purposes. If I don't get that email, you will not get anything, and I never ship without payments. Here's our Facebook link. If you are on Facebook, go give us a follow. Tonight's lot list is on there. It is the top post. We do post a lot list on there every night we have a sale. We also have a mailing list. If you want to be on the mailing list, shoot me an email, cheapskatecoins@gmail.com, and say add me to the mailing list. If you're on the mailing list, you will get the lot list a day or two before every sale, and you have the ability to pre-purchase items as soon as it hits your email. If you're on the mailing list, make sure to, if you don't see it, make sure you check your spam and junk folders, because I do send it out as one giant spam mail to all of you on the list. And then, of course, the night of the sale, anything that did go in pre-sale, we do remove. So what is posted up on Facebook is what is available. All right, quick announcement before we get going. Let me double check. I think it's on the 10th. No, 9th. Tuesday, December 9th. I am going to be doing a consignment sale. It's, if I remember right, it's 150 lots. It's all world silver. So it's going to be a full world silver consignment sale. Be regular starting time. All that kind of thing. Payments will be allowed on the stuff for that sale. There's not a lot of stuff on there. It's the guy that had the Balboas, the 20 Balboas that are still sitting here. I finally got the rest of the stuff from him. So that sale is coming. So again, you will have up to 4 weeks to make payments on anything that you get. But again, I'm trying to think. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot in there that's like super expensive. Other than like the 20 Balboas are going to be the most expensive coins in there. And those are going to be like 225 or 235 or something. Depending on what the heck the melt is at the time. What is it at today? I haven't looked. What is melt right now? Wow. Silver shot up today. Holy crap. It went up $3 today. $56.40 an ounce right now. Holy smokes. That is crazy. So let's see. Let's see what that would put the melt on a 20 Balboa right now. They're, if I remember right, they're 1974s. Yeah, so as of right this moment, the melt value on those things is $217.63. So if that holds or if it keeps going up, then yeah, probably somewhere around like $235, $245 each will be the price on those. Man, that is crazy how much silver is going up. I keep having to double check a lot of my world silver just to make sure that I'm not selling it below melt. It's gone up $6 since I did this list. So some of the stuff on this list may very well be right around or below melt. Who knows? But yeah, so keep that in mind. Mark it on your calendar, whatever you got to do. That's the, Tuesday, December 9th, normal starting time. World Silver Consignment Sale. And keep in mind, as always, because it's a consignment sale, I don't set the prices other than, obviously, he gave me some leeway for, melt fluctuating so much. Because he doesn't want to undersell them. It'd be 5:30 p.m. Pacific, so you're what, Eastern? So 8:30 Eastern time? That sounds right. Yes, sir. Central will be 7:30. Mountain will be 6:30, and Pacific is 5:30. We're on Mountain right now because in Arizona we don't have daylight savings. We leave our clocks the heck alone. So for half the year we're on the same time as Colorado, and for half the year we're on the same time as California. Which is nice. All right, here we go. Kicking off, as always, with world banknotes. And we are starting our world banknotes tonight with Italy. With a 1974 through 79 series 500 lire. Uncirculated note for $2. I'm originally from that area. I was born in New York. I actually was born in upstate New York. Most of my biological family still lives up there on the Indian reservation. Because I'm actually Oneida. I'm 80% Oneida and 20% German, which is why I look a little bit lighter than all of my other family. I got a bit more of the German light gene for the skin tone. You dig Herkimer diamonds? Good money if you can find a good one. We got a fire opal mine open to the public that's like a 2-hour drive from here. I've been wanting to go to it, but we haven't been able to yet. All right, moving on. All right, next up. 1982 to 88, 1,000 lire. Uncirculated note for $2. Oh, that's got the upright. So one of those that back in the day Ramon always said that had a flying saucer on it. Haven't seen him in ages either. Come on. There we go. All right, moving on. And the last one from Italy, 1990 to 2001 series, 1,000 lire. Uncirculated, $2. Anybody? All right, moving on. To 1992, $5 from Jamaica. Going for $2. Anybody? All right, moving on. All right, next one. Next one had a mistake on the list. This is the Haiti banknote. It said uncirculated, and it's actually not. It's an AU, but it does have one fold line on it, so it's not uncirculated. But it's a 1992 gourds. It's just one. I don't even know if you can see it on camera. There's one fold line right there. That's it. Going for $2. All right, not much love for banknotes tonight, I see. All right, moving on. All right, next one up. I've got two available. These are 2014 1 Hervinias from Ukraine. Which one are you bidding on, Westside? Because you bend right after I popped the Ukraine. These are uncirculated notes. They are $2 each. The Haiti note? All right. Haiti note going to Westside. You like silvery things? Who doesn't? All right, so again, two of these available, $2 each. These are still spendable. These are actually still monetized. So if you happen to find yourself in the Ukraine and don't get killed by a random artillery shell, you can still spend these over there. All right, moving on. All right, and then the last one, I have three available. These are 2013 2 Hervinias from Ukraine, all uncirculated. These are not sequential. That's the 57. They're from the same run, but they're not sequential. The 57, the 44, and the 62. Were the ones actually sequential? Oh yeah, they are 71 and 72. So those, yeah, the 2-1 Hervinias are actually sequential. All right, $2 each. Anybody? All right, moving on. To coinage. All right, the first few lots are non-silver world coins. First one. This is a bundle of 5 world proofs, all from the 1970s in various countries. Going for $3, so less than $1 a coin. So you're getting a 1974 10-cent Bahamas with some color toning on it. $1974 10-cent Belize. This is the long-tailed hermit. I think they had a few different ones with different birds. And then 1976 Cayman Island 10-cent with the sea turtle. And then the 5-cent 1976 Cayman Islands with the shrimp. And then 1974 1-cent Jamaica proof. $3 for the bundle. Anybody? Normally I sell these at $2 a piece, so that's a really good deal for 5 for $3. Going to Walter. Gratzer. All right. Next up. This one is the 1973 Bahamas proof set minus the silver coins. This is all just the clad coins from the set. So the $2 and the... I think there's a $2 and a $5 that are not there. But it's the 1973 1-cent, 5-cent. Oh, these are Barbados, not Bahamas. Go away. Come on. So that was a typo. These are 1973 Barbados. Let me fix that real quick. That way the listing is correct. Barbados. There. Now it's right. 1973 Barbados. Proof bundle. All right, where do we leave off? We're on the 10-cent now. The 25-cent. And the $1. And again, going for $3. So another good deal. Going to Philip. Congrats, sir. Let's get that cool flying fish. All right. All right, next one up. I am going to link these all, and then I will have a bundle deal option for them as well. All right, these are from Panama. They're 1975. They were on the list because all of them have higher value than your standard proof coins from the world. So you have, these are all 1975. You have the 1 centesimo. The 2.5 centesimo, that's the one known as the pill. That tiny, tiny little coin. The 5 centesimo. The 10 centesimo. The 25 centesimo. And the 50 centesimo. So that's 6 coins. If anybody wants all 6, I will do the full set for $12. That makes them a flat $2 each. So you're saving 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're saving $10 if you get them all. So there's the 1 cent. There's that tiny little pill coin that everybody loves so much. Here's the 5. And by the way, all the prices I originally had them are still under the list. So if you get the whole set, you are getting a really, really good deal. Good deal to go with your Balboa. Heck yeah. All right. Deal going to Doug. So that makes that 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. All right. Grazie. All right, and then the last non-silver world coin. I was actually surprised Richard didn't grab this, because he grabs like a lot of the Russia stuff that I get. This is a 1967 1 ruble from Russia. It is VF and $2. USSR era. Where's Richard? I don't know. It was Saturday night. He might have had something going on with the missus. Very possible. Anybody? Going to West Side. Congrats, sir. Oh yeah, because the 1904 is the one silver one, which makes everybody really like those. But those are also very hard to come by and fairly expensive. So, let's see. I'm curious. Let me look real quick. 1904, 2.5. Tissimo Panama. I think it's sterling silver if I remember right. No, 90%. Yeah, those are up there. A Mint State 63 would be $65. All right, World Silver time. Kicking off World Silver. We have a lot of old silver tonight. Like I said, I was surprised more of this didn't go in the pre-sales. Let me bring this down a bit more. Wrong way, focus. There we go. All right. Yeah, because a lot of this is 1800s, so surprised more of it didn't go in pre-sale. But we were kicking off. We got one coin from the Dominican Republic. 1897, 20 centavo. 35% silver in good, $5. When I did, like I said, when I did these all up, melt was $50. It is now 56 and change. So, some of these could very well be under melt. I don't know. There we go. Now we're focused. Anybody? Yes, sir. And only $5. I'm surprised nobody's jumping on it. All right, moving on. Next up, got a few from the Netherlands. First one up is 1896, 10 cent. 64% silver, good, $10. Oh, that's a little one. Let me scope that one. So you can see it better. There we go. 1896. Anybody? All right, moving on. It's gonna be one of those nights. Tough crowd. Next up is 1849, 25 cent. 64% silver, good, $6. That thing is what, 176 years old? Man, nobody. All right, moving on. And the United States hadn't even made it to the Civil War yet when that coin was made. Next up, 1941 Gulden, 72% silver, BU. Does have some toning around the edges. Getting that coppery toning, looks pretty cool. Gonna go for $20. It's got it on both sides, cool toning. That's upside down, there we go. It's a gorgeous coin. Camera is not doing this thing justice. That coin is gorgeous. All right, moving on. To 1959, 2.5 Gulden. 72% silver, AU, $25. This is one of those that might be flirting with melt now. Let me see. Kind of curious. 1959. 2.5 Gulden, Netherlands. Current melt is $19.61 just in melt on this coin as of right this moment. So $5 and change over melt. And the next one is going to be 39 cents over melt. All right, moving on. And that is the 1960 2.5 Gulden. 72% silver, extremely fine, $20. So, yeah. 29 cents over melt for this coin. You want to talk about a good investment? After PayPal fees, I'll get less than melt on that coin. Or Cash App fees or Venmo fees. Because they all have fees. Wow, nobody. Nobody wants a silver coin for 30 or 29 cents over melt. Got it. Moving on. All right, Egypt went in pre-sale. So next up, we've got a couple of coins from Belgium. Got a next one on our oldies. West Side is bidding the 1940 Gulden. You got it, sir. Decided you wanted the nice, pretty toner. All right. 1867, Type 4. 2 francs. $83.5% silver in good. Going for $35. And there's the explanation of the Type 4. It's got the long gap between the DES and it's right there. It's got the wider gap right there. And then it's got the hand under the letters. So that's the, let me show you under the scope. That'd be easier. So you have hands right here on each side that are pointing, and it's pointing between the N and the I. So that's another part of it. And then you have the crown with the cross. So the crown has the cross on top. So you have the crown with the cross on top, pointing in between the N and the I, and then the wider gap between Des and Belgies. Makes it the Type 4. So that's what all that is. And that's going for $35. $2 francs. You think of a citizen holding it as Germany invaded? Yeah, maybe. All right, moving on. And then the other Belgium is a 1934 Position B 20 franc. Position B, just like with our dollar coins, if the lettering is upright when it's face up, the lettering on the edge, if it's upright and can be read, is position B. If it's upside down, position A. 68% silver, VF, $18. Anybody? All right, moving on. All right, next up, we are going to Norway. The 1892 10-cent went in pre-sale. So the only Norway that's left is the 1897 10 ore. %40 silver in fine, $10. Some Viking silver. That might actually be a VF. But I wanted to be safe, so I put it as a fine. Looking at it again, though, I mean, it's still got the detail right there. So, yeah, that's probably more like a VF. Which means anybody who gets this, you are getting a really good deal. Getting this for only $10. Viking silver. All right, moving on. Slow night tonight. All right, next up is India. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of deal on these. So this is the 1942 1 rupee. And the 43. They're $12 each. Or I will do $20 for both. If anybody wants both, I'll give you $4 off. So there is the 42. These are both the Bombay Mint, which is the little dot right down there means Bombay Mint. And then here is the 43. No, these are closer to $half size. Here's a Kennedy $half. Yeah, that's the size of a $half. Anybody? Does that put it under melt? Is that individual or if you get both? Let me see. 1943, 1 rupee, India. Yeah, if you get both, you're getting it for under melt. Because if you get both, you're paying $10 a piece. Melt right now on these is $10.58. So if you get both, you are getting it for $1.16 under melt. How many places can you go and get silver for under melt, guys? And Doug's like, all right, I'll be the smart one. Congrats, Doug. Next up, Guatemala. Got 2 coins tonight from Guatemala. First one is 1893, 25 centavo. 83.5% silver, VF, 18 bucks. A little bit better view of the reverse there. It's kind of glaring off that camera. 1893. Libertad. Anybody? Yeah, there's a few countries that are starting to do that. Canada, for a few years, has been working on getting all of their coins back into their country. All right, moving on to the 1898 2 reals. 2 bits. 83.5% silver, extremely fine, 45 bucks. This is pretty much one of our 2 showcase coins for today. Well, 1 of 3. Anybody? How often do you guys see these looking like this? Come on. Normally these things are like worn. Wow, nobody wants this. All right, moving on. That'll be one of the only times in the history of Cheapskate Coins that a 2 real did not sell. Got it. All right, next up, we got 1 coin from Sweden. It is an 1897 10 ore. 40% silver and fine, 6 bucks. Upside down. There we go. Anybody? Going to Honey Family. How you been doing, man? I haven't seen you around in ages. Finally adding something new to your package. That's still been sitting here. It was actually getting pretty close to the point I was going to be emailing you soon to remind you you have a package here. All right, next up, Romania. All right, one of the Romanias went in pre-sale. We have one left. They were the same coin. It is the 1906 no dot on signature 1 Liu. 83.5 silver. They were both fines, so same grade on both, and $12. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Hey, at least you made it tonight. And we're only on tonight this week because of the holiday and everything. So glad you can make it. Anybody on this one? That's vampire silver right there. Romania. Land of Vlad the Impaler. All right, moving on. All right, next up, we got one coin from Denmark. And it is an 1875 25 ore. Some more Viking silver. Going for $5. It's in the goods. Got that dark toning going on. It's got the dolphin. Anybody? Only $5. $151-year-old coin. All right, moving on. All right, next up, Peru. The 1/5 soul went in pre-sale, which brings up, this is the oldest coin of the night and the second of 3 showcase items. The 1789 2 reals. 89.6% silver in good. $45. This is pirate money right here. $17.89. Anybody? It was an awesome piece for anybody to add to your collection. Man, nobody. Man, somebody go get Richard. Richard be buying all these up. Where the heck is he? There he is. What did I say? He'd be buying this. How you doing, Richard? Congrats, sir. The other 2 reals still available, too. Nobody got it. So if you want the other one, the Guatemala one, it's 1898 2 real Guatemala, 45 bucks. Cool. There's been a lot of stuff still available. It's been a slow night for sales. All right, let me get his coin set aside real quick. Pull that Guatemala back out. Where are you? Oh, that's Belgium. Netherlands, Denmark, Romania, Guatemala. There we go. Yeah, U.S. coins always comes after world silver. There was world currency at the beginning. I don't have any U.S. currency going tonight. But if you like world silver, then, or world banknotes, I had 10 of those earlier, and none of them sold, so. And I'll hit them again during the recap at the end. Can I get it? Okay. All right. All caught up. All right, next up is Morocco, because the Canada dime went in pre-sale. All right, first one from Morocco, 1960. Yeah, 1961 dirham. 60% silver, AU, $8. I gotta say, Morocco is one of those countries I actually don't know a whole lot about. Go away. Got a piece of, like, debris in there. Needs to go away. Be gone. There we go. The thing I know about Morocco is, like, if I remember right, I think, like, olive oil a lot of olive oil can come from Morocco sometimes. And this one's going to Phil de Bjord. Congrats, sir. Next up, 1965 5 dirham. 72% silver, VF, 20 bucks. Oh, by the way, Richard, if you missed it at the beginning, this Tuesday, December 9th, I'm going to be doing a consignment sale. It's going to be 150 lots, all world silver. And if anybody else just popped in, make a note of that. Tuesday, December 9th. Normal start time. All world silver. All right. Last call on this one, 20 bucks. All right, moving on. All right, next up, got a couple of coins from France. Metals will take off tomorrow. They're already taking off, man. Silver went up $3 today. Next up, 1967 20 centimes. 83.5% silver in fine. $5. Napoleon Bonaparte on that coin. Hello, hello. You're a new name. Welcome. Seen a couple of new names. Welcome, welcome. Do this under the scope. Give me a better view. There you go. Now you can actually see it. Oh, that was a typo. This is an 1867. Let me fix that. That was a typo on the list. It's supposed to be an 8, not a 9. All right, that is going to Honey. Honey was the first one on that. Congrats, Honey. All right, and then the other one from France, 1869, 1 franc. 83.5% silver in good, $10. Another oldie. All right, moving on. Next up, got a couple oldies from Hong Kong. I'll go back to the scope for these. These are smaller coins. All right, first one, 1894, 10 cent. 80% silver, VF, $8. Going to Richard. Gratzer. And then the other one is 1897 VG. Going for $6. Also to Richard. Gratzer. All right. Next up, we are going to Australia. Got some oldies coming from Australia tonight. These are all from the sterling silver years. 1960, these are all going to be 1912 through, the oldest one is a 22. So if you've been looking to fill some slots in the older years, you got a chance tonight. The Glow Adventure, Glow Wave, normally we're not on Saturdays. Normally we would be on Friday nights. But with the holiday and everything, we did it this week on Saturday. So if you check in pretty much any Friday night, we start at 5:30 Eastern, or 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. We'd be happy to have you. If you want me nice, throw a sub, hit the little bell, all that fun stuff. I rarely ever tell anybody to do that. All right, 1921 sixpence. AG for short. All right, this one is an oldie. It's 8. This one's in an AG. Sterling silver and $6. This particular one goes up in price fast for higher grades. In fact, all of these older ones do. Anybody? I've been pop checking a few of these over the course of the night because silver jumped up so much today. And silver's up $6 and change since I priced these. It was $50 when I priced these. So this one, for example, 21 sixpence. Melt value as of right now on this coin, $4.74 just in melt. Thanks, I appreciate it. I figure at the rate I'm going, I should hit 1,000 subs somewhere right around 2038. All right, moving on. All right, next up. $19.12 shilling. 925 sterling silver in good. $30. Yeah, this one, if I remember right, was the one that if you want even like a moderately decent grade, you're already into the hundreds. $19.12 shilling. So current melt on this one is $9.15. Yeah, 1912 shilling. By the time you hit VF, you're already at $70. EF is 325. Mint State 60 is 2,950. Mint State 63, it jumps to 6,250. Yeah. So any takers, $30. All right, moving on. Next up, 1914 shilling. This one's an about good for $10. So that'd be 85 cents over melt. Anybody? And then I also have a 1914 in good. HU, which is 12 bucks. So there's a $12 one. So $10, $12. Anybody? Oop, that's the wrong one. That's the one. That's the $12 one. All right, moving on. Next up, I've also got two of these available. They are both VGs. They are 1916s. They are 12 bucks each. There is number one. Got some really dark toning going on. And here is number two. Not so much on the toning. So if you've been one, let me know if you want the one with the really dark toning or without. And these are the... bring that down. Get back under there. These are the M's. So that's your M mint mark. I forgot right off the top of my head where M was. These are 1916 M's. All right, moving on. And then the last two are also the same year. These are 1922s. I've got a VG for 12. And a fine for 15. So this is the $12 one. And this is the $15 one. Anybody? Hey, Kellen, which one are you taking? You want the better one? Oh. Okay, Walter's grabbing the $15 one, so Walter's grabbing this one. So, Kellen, you're getting this one. You're getting the VG. Melbourne, thank you. All right. Grab Kellen's card out real quick. KKK, there we are. Kellen. Where are you? There you are. All right. All right, if anybody decides you want any more of that, let me know. You are very welcome. All right, last country for the world silver tonight is Italy. Did you miss the reals? You did. Richard bought both. There is a lot of world silver still available, though, that did not sell. But the 2 reals are both sold. So if you had your eye on any of the other 1800 silver, there's a lot of it still available. All right. I'm going to link these together for the first 2. This is the 1863 Type 1 No Shield Reverse. 1 lira from Italy. 83.5% silver VG. It does have a scratch on the obverse, which is why it's only $8. We also have the 1863 Type 2 Shield Reverse. VG rainbow toned. So I wanted to link those together so that way you know. That's the Type 1 reverse. It just says 1 lira. And then that is the Type 2 reverse with the shield. And Kellen is taking both. Congrats, sir. Yeah, that was a transitional year when they went from one reverse to another. All right. Oh, I probably should have put this one up first. So, Kellen, if you want this one instead, let me know. Because I also have the 1863 Type 2 shield in a fine for 12. So if you'd rather have the fine instead of the VG, let me know. Never mind, this one's going to Richard. Congrats, sir. All right, and the last world silver coin for tonight. 1863 Two Liar. 83.5% silver VG, $20. Anybody? Get under here so you can actually. Ooh, let me bring that back up. Up, 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 up. There we go. Focus. So there's the L2, so you know it's a two liar. $18.63. Anybody on this one? All right, I got to use the restroom real fast, so I will be right back. Give me one moment. All right, I am back. Make sure you wash your hands. Indeed. All right. On to American coinage. All right, we were kicking off with some Indian cents. We did have a couple went in pre-sale. So the 1860 pointed bust and one of the 1863 goods went in pre-sale. So we still have the another 1863 in good for $8. And then we also have one in VG for 15. So these were the old copper nickel planchets. Same planchets that the Flying Eagles were done on before they switched over to the bronze. Those got some serious dark toning going on. Anybody? There you go. Now you can see it better. This is the VG. This is the $15 one. And then this is the $8 one. Anybody? All right, moving on. I'm actually surprised those now have made it through 2 sales and nobody grabbed them. Alright, next up, we got some Rick Snow specials. These are Jefferson nickels. Alright, we got the 1938D BU, 18 bucks. And the 38S. So that's actually Choice BU. That was supposed to say Choice BU on the D. These are graded by Rick Snow and then Jim uncirculated on the S. If anybody wants both, I will do both for $45. And Richard already grabbed both. So Richard, you are getting a deal. So you are saving $7. Grats and grats. All right. You are very welcome. All right, next up, got one barber dime for tonight. It is the 1914 Denver. It's in a VG for $10. See what melt on a barber dime is right at the moment. Or on any 90% silver dime. Right now, melt on it is $4.08. Not bad for a dime. Anybody? 1914 Denver barber. Going to Zeke. Congrats, Zeke. All right. Next up, I've still got these available. Hopefully somebody will grab them tonight. See, silver quarter melt right now is $10.21 is the melt on a silver quarter right at the moment for 90% silver. All right, these are the 2006 state quarters, silver proofs. South Dakota, Nebraska, North Dakota, Nevada, and Colorado. They are $14 each. Or $60 for the year. So if you buy the whole year, that makes them $12 each, which is $1.79 over melt per quarter. That's a pretty good deal. Again, these are all 90% silver proofs. And this one's going to RM. Congrats, Scrubs. You're still Scrubs in my mind. That's still what we have on your card and on all of our address form and everything. Is R Scrubs M. All right. R. Where is your card? There it is. Boom. All right. Next up, I lowered the price on this one for this week. So this is a bit of a Black Friday special right now. All right. So I want you guys to know what kind of a deal you're getting right now. Let me pull it up again real fast. Give me 1 second, bringing it up. Browser scene, ding, properties, boing. All right, we are on PCGS.com. 2023S. These are the San Francisco NIFCs, the ones that you could only get if you bought them from the mint. So you go off the standard of which one had the most, which is it, Mint State 66 had the most graded at that. So you can kind of do that off of a basis. The lowest that's ever been graded was a Mint State 64. Those are $12. So there's your potential. 12, 13, 15, 16, 20, 22 and up. So I just want to make sure you guys see that part of it. Because this is the Black Friday special for tonight. This is a full roll. Jim BU 2023S Edith Kanakas for $40. You're getting them for $1 a piece, and that's going to Richard. Congrats, sir. You're gonna definitely make some better money off that one when you decide to unload your 800 safes that you apparently have stashed. You'll do quite well off that roll. I know you never sell anything. That's why I said you have like 800 safes apparently stashed around somewhere. All right, next up is our last of the showcase items. Rick Snow special. 1920 San Francisco Walking Liberty half dollar. 90% silver in fine, graded by Mr. Snow himself. Going for $60. And going to Richard. Congrats, sir. You rubber band all your coins together real quick. Your stack is falling over. There we go. All right. Alrighty. This one, you might actually be getting it under melt at this point with how much freaking silver shot up. Not quite, but close. All right, melt value as of right now on a 90% silver half dollar is $20.41. This is a 2006 silver proof Kennedy for 22 bucks. Decam. So now with silver shooting up, this is $1.59 over melt. You got a Benji from your bank? Nice. Can't complain there. Anybody? No, they're still doing them. I think they're doing them in like a new series with them. I think isn't that the child youth series thing that they were doing, or the youth sports? Which is basically going to be like they did with the quarters, but be the Kennedy reverses. All right, moving on. At least if it does end, then that'll finally give people a stopping point for that collection. Let me see. Yes, there will be Kennedy half dollars minted next year. It's going to be a commemorative design for the semi-quincentennial 250th anniversary instead of the traditional design. So it's going to be a special designed one. So it'll be replacing the Kennedy portrait for that year only. And then it'll go back to the portrait in 2027. Indeed. All right. The Ike Proof Dollar went in pre-sale, so we have now some presidential proof dollars. These are very underrated coins. These things list for like a minimum of like 12 bucks each. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. First up, we have the 2008 Martin Van Buren, Andrew Jackson, John Quincy Adams, and James Monroe. $4 each, or if you want the full year, $12 for the year. Makes them $3 each. 3 times face. And 1/3 of list. Here's your Van Buren. Andrew Jackson. John Quincy Adams. And James Monroe. Zeke, you doing the full year? Taking the $12 deal. All right, cool. Just wanted to make sure. All right. All right, and then exact same deal for the 2009s. You're very welcome. So that's James K. Polk. Yeah. Copy 1, not 2. Here we go. Zachary Taylor. John Tyler. And William Henry Harrison. Same deal. $4 each or $12 for the year. James K. Polk. Zachary Taylor. John Tyler. And William Henry Harrison. Yep, everything had a lower mintage in 2009 because they quit making coins in like April because of the recession. Anybody? Again, 3 times face if you get the whole year set. Still not the lowest mintage year for the proof sets though. That's still the 2012. Other than like maybe some of the newest years might be a bit lower. But that's why 2012s are so freaking expensive. All right, moving on. If you decide you want those, let me know. All right, recap. All right, banknotes. The only banknote that sold was the Haiti. So all 3 of the uncirculated Italies, the Jamaica, and all of the Ukraine notes are all still available. Anybody want the banknotes or want to see them again, or anybody on banknotes? All right. All right, World Silver. All right, the 1897 20 centavo Dominican Republic is still available. That one is in a good for $5. For Netherlands, the 1896 10 cent, the 1849 25 cent, and the 1859 2.5 gulden and 1860 2.5 gulden are all still available. The 2.5 gulden is like 30 cents over melt for the 1960. We looked that one up during the stream, and it's like 30 cents over melt if you buy that coin right now. So anybody on Netherlands or Guatemala? Zeke's taking the presidentials. You got it, sir. Kellen has been in the Dominican Republic. Here it is so you can see it real quick. 1897. All right, Dominican Republic to Kellen. All right, and still nobody wants Netherlands coin for 30 cents over melt. All right. That was the Guatemala. That was the only one. Oh, wait, no, that was the Dominican Republic. Sorry. All right, I'll show Guatemala when we get there. So nobody on the Netherlands? All right. Belgium. Both of the Belgiums are still available. It's the 1867 Type 4 2 francs. Good for 35 bucks. And the 1934 Position B 20 franc. 68% silver VF for 18. Anybody on the Belgiums? I did walk everybody through what all the position or all the Type 4 stuff is. That's the wider gap between Des and Belgium. It's the hand on the crown pointing toward it, in between the N and the I, and then the fact that there's a cross on the crown. That's what makes it Type 4. Yeah, I can show you the Netherlands. So that's that one, and then there's the other Belgium. That's the 20 franc. Position B. So position B, of course, being the edge lettering. You can read it up right side up with the face up. If it was upside down, then it'd be position A. So there's the Belgiums again, if anybody wants them. Netherlands for Richard. Yeah, I'll just link them all again for you, Richard. That'll make it easier. All right, so there's the 1869 10 cent. The 1849 25 cent. The 1859 2.5 gulden. And then the 1860 2.5 gulden. This is the one that's like 30 cents over melt. So here's the one that's 30 cents over melt. This is the 1960 EF. You got it, sir. And then here's your 59 AU. Your 1849 25 center. And your 1896 10 center. Congrats, 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 and congrats. Oops. All right, so that's 20, 25, 6, and 10. All right. All right, nobody on the Belgiums. All right, we have the 1897 10 or Norway. Anybody on that one? And then Guatemala, the 2 real is sold. But here's the 1893 25 cent VF, 25 centavos. 83.5% silver. And this one's 18 bucks. So there you go, Kellen. Oh, and Richard's grabbing this one. You got it, Richard. And then here's that Norway if anybody wanted to see it. $18.97, 10 ore, 40% silver fine. $10. This is the one that I said I think I undergraded it. I think it's actually a VF. Yeah, I landed a bunch of oldies this week. You want this one too? You got it. All right. And then the Romania 1906, no dot on signature. One Liu is still available. 83.5% silver and fine. It's $12. 1874, 25 ore Denmark. 60% silver and good for $5. Anybody on Romania or Denmark? Here's the Romania. $19.04. And here's the Denmark. $18.74. Heck yeah, history is one of the best parts of world coins. And American coins, really. Kellen is taking the Denmark. You got it, Kellen. All right. Anybody on the Romania before we go? All right. And then the 1965 5 Durham Morocco is still available. I just did. It's right there. 1906, no dot on signature. One Liu in fine. $12. Going to Kellen. You got it, sir. All right. All right, Morocco. 1965 5 Durham, 72% silver VF for $20. And then the 1869 1 franc from France in good for $10. Anybody on either of those? Here's the Morocco. That's the $20 one. And then 1869 France, 1 franc, Napoleon. That's the $10 one. Anybody on either of these? And then Australia, the 1921 sixpence, the 1912 shilling, that is like a key date. I can go 19 on the Morocco Kellen. Morocco, 2 Kellen for 19. All right. So yeah, that 1912 shilling is a key date. That was the one that I was showing during the original showing of it, that by the time you get to Mint State 63, it's almost $7,000. So that one's still available. 1912, it's in good for 30 bucks. 1914, both are still available. There's AG and good. One's 10, one's 12. 1916 VGs are both still available, 12 bucks each. And both 1922s. Oh, no, those are sold. All right, anybody on Australia? Richard, I'm actually surprised you didn't grab the key date one. Normally you like the key dates. Get up here. Find a good price book on World Silver. Man, I just use NGC for most of it. Guys, price books for World Silver, I'll show you what you're looking at. And they're not even, you'd have to get the most up-to-date ones. This is just for 1901 through 2000. That is a big honking book. That's what you're looking at. This is an old version of it too. This is the 2016 release. Yep. And then of course, here is the 1600s. The 1700s. And the 1800s. Yeah, there's a lot of coins in a lot of countries, so they're big books. All right, last call on everything. Oh, and American coinage, the only things left were the 90% silver Kennedy proof, 2006, and then the 2 Indians, the 1863s. So you have banknotes, 3 American coins, and a handful of world silver still available. Last call on it all. Last chance if you want to see anything, all that kind of thing. Yes, sir. Tuesday, December 9th. Consignment sale for World Silver. 150 lots. It's not this coming Tuesday. It's a week from Tuesday, I think. Yeah, it's a week from Tuesday. So next week will just be our normal Friday show. Well, if you're on the mailing list, you'll still have the opportunity for pre-purchase for when I send that one out. Just make sure you take advantage of it. That's one of the reasons why I do the pre-purchase option, is because I know there are some of you that can't make it, but at least you see it and you can email and be like, hey, I want this, this, and this. Take advantage of it. Especially on my sales. Like I said, I've had times that I had an entire list sell out in pre-sale. So I sent out an entire new one, and then that one sold out, and I sent an entire new one out again. And then I had that half of that one sold out. I will find enough stuff if you guys just buy out like crazy. Have you been here that long, Richard? Dang. I thought you've only been around for like 3 or 4 years. Cool. That means you've been here for almost my entire run, because I've only been doing this for 7 years. Yeah, I think you came in right during COVID, so yeah, that would have been 2020. Yeah. All right, last call on everything. Got a tiny handful of lots left. Like the day that I sold the boxes of mixed foreign silver. I only did that once. And I undersold that. I should have charged a lot more for that thing than what I did. Nowadays, if you wanted like the 100 foreign box, but you wanted it all silver, oh my lord, that would be expensive. If I had to wager a guess, yeah, you bought it, Richard. It was like, I sold it to you for like $9.50, and honestly, I should have charged more. Even back then, I should have charged more. I gave you a really, really good deal. Yeah, nowadays, if I had to wager a guess, I would say probably, God, probably $4,000 at least would be about what that would cost for. Oh, did I do two? Oh, yeah, the other one was like, I think the other one was like 68 coins or something like that. And then the one was a full 100. I remember now. Indeed. A group deal for all the leftover? It's 223 as of now. Let's see. I could just make it $200 even. If you want every single, all of the last stuff. All right, I got to do math. Give me a sec. Let's see if I knock that from that to that. That's $15 of it right there. 17, 19, 21, 23. There. Oop. All right, cool. Give me a second. I'm filling everything in. All right, so that's a sellout. So that means I will be doing a sellout giveaway at some point. Awesome. Will do, sir. Yeah, and as I've been recommending to everybody, with it being around Christmas, unless you live somewhere where you absolutely know you're safe, I would recommend waiting until after Christmas before having your stuff shipped. Just a suggestion. Almost done. Oh, and also, if anybody needs NGC box or the PCGS boxes, I've still got 6 available. I have 3 blue and 3 black. So those are still available if anybody needs them. They're $10 each. Something is off. Give me a sec. My number on the left and my number on the right don't match. So somewhere I need to find the wrong number. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Yeah, I've got a $5 discrepancy on one side and to the other. I'll figure it out. I'll find it afterwards. I don't want to hold you guys up just for that. I'll solve it. Oh yeah, just the regular Hunter foreign boxes. Yeah, I'll still have those in moving forward. It's just a matter of having the stuff for it and having the time to do them all up. But yeah, I'll still do those moving forward. I'm just saying, if anybody wanted the like 100 foreigns box but silver, that would be very, very expensive. Hey, Bo, you just missed a sellout. But since you're here, make yourself a little note. Tuesday, December 9th, I'm going to be doing a all-world silver 150 lot commemorative sale. Consignment sale. Same start time. So that's coming up. 150 lots of world silver coming up that night. Just got done bartending. Nice. So, all right, guys. I'm going to let everybody go. Everybody have a great night. I hope you guys all had a great Thanksgiving. And I will see you guys next Friday, normal time. Everybody have a great night.